Is it possible to travel through time? Nearly every living person on the planet is occupied with the question of whether or not time travel is conceivable. But before I get into the ultimate question of how time travel is achievable, I'll explain how NASA has already given us a peek of the past via the use of the Space Telescope. The ability to see distant galaxies and stars is made possible by telescopes. The light from distant galaxies has a lengthy journey to make before it reaches Earth. This means that when we gaze at the sky via telescope, we are really seeing the distant past, when the stars and galaxies were much younger. Yet when we hear the term time travel, our minds immediately go to rate of movement more than 1 second every second. Such time travel seems fantastical, like something out of a science fiction novel. Is it even possible? However, how do we really know that time travel is possible? Albert Einstein, a prominent physicist, had a hypothesis concerning the nature of time more than a century ago. Relativity, he said. Time and space are interconnected, according to this view. Also, according to Einstein, the speed of light is the absolute maximum in the cosmos, 186,000 miles per second. The implications for time travel are unclear. The quicker you go, the slower time seems to pass, at least according to this belief. A number of investigations conducted by scientists confirm this to be the case. As an example, consider an experiment in which identically synchronized clocks were utilized. One watch remained on the ground, while the other was transported by flight going in the same direction Earth rotates. Following the plane's global circumnavigation, experts compared the times recorded by each device. Since the jet was traveling so quickly, its clock was running a few minutes behind the time back on the ground. In other words, the plane's clock was moving at a rate somewhat less than 1 second every second. But is time travel practical for regular use? It is impossible for humans to use a time machine to go back or forward in time by hundreds of years. This kind of time travel is exclusively seen in fiction. However, the mathematics of time travel does influence commonplace items. The Global Positioning System GPS satellites, for instance, aid with navigation to uncharted territories. High-precision versions of GPS are also used by NASA researchers to monitor the whereabouts of satellites in orbit. But time travel calculations are really what make GPS work so well. Global Positioning System satellites go around the planet at a blistering speed of around 8,700 miles, 14,000 kilometers per hour. Because of this, GPS satellite clocks will have a very little delay, similar to the airplane example. On the other hand, the satellites are circling the planet at an altitude of around 12,550 miles, 20,200 Kelvin m. This actually increases the fraction of a second by which GPS satellite clocks run faster. How it works is as follows. Gravity, according to Einstein's theory, bends space and slows down time. The satellites orbit at a high altitude, far from the pole of Earth's gravity. Because of this, GPS satellite clocks advance more rapidly than terrestrial clocks. Scientists may, thankfully, employ mathematics to adjust for these discrepancies in time. Finally, in summary, to answer your question, yes, time travel is possible. However, it is not quite like what you've probably seen in the movies.